I want to talk to you today about love. This love is not the love that many of us were taught. I think so many of us were taught about conditional love and love that was connected to how well we performed, how well we pleased, how well we took care of and did the right thing and were exactly what other people wanted us to be. What our parents, what our grandparents, what our society, what our culture wanted us to be. And as a result of that conditional love, which is very human and not something to be rejected or judged too harshly, it's very human to conditionally love. And it's very human to not actually know how to embody unconditional love. I mean, this is the separation that we experience when we incarnate here, is that we experience this separation from love. Cultures and religions and faith traditions across the globe equate love and truth to God, to Source, to Christ, to Buddha, to Mother and Father, right? This is what Source is truth and love. And as humans, we receive a very shadowy, fragmented version of that when we incarnate onto this planet as the consciousness structures exist. And so as a result of this conditional love, we learn at a very young age to separate ourselves, to separate parts of ourselves off. And this is basic psychological understanding, but I want to just take it to a deeper level than that. Which is, right, as young children, as people incarnate in human form on this planet, we learn that there are parts of us that are just not acceptable. And whether that's innate parts of our personality or whether that's parts of the human condition, like fear or rage or pain, or whether that is memories and traumas that are stored in our bodies, we learn that some of these are not safe to be seen, that it's not actually safe for us to be authentic and truthful with our human experiences, because there's a belief that being authentic and truthful with the reality of our lives means that we will be separated from love, right? And I want to share with you today about a love that has the capacity to alchemize all of that separation. When I began doing healing work on myself many, many years ago, it's taken me to the depths of the darkness and back up. It has taken me to the darkest places in the human consciousness, and back up from that underworld, from the belly of that place, back into the light of day. And I could not have had any clue when I started my journey in earnest 12 years ago that there were so many fragmented parts of my consciousness. There were so many parts of me that were buried and denied and repressed and rejected. And what allows each of these parts of me to reintegrate, to become whole, to be free, to be safely expressed is love. The true love, the true frequency of light has the capacity to shine the light on all of these fragments, to help us become aware of the parts of ourselves that we're lying about, that we're denying, that we're repressing, that we're rejecting. This is the light of the Holy Father. This is the light of truth. And it's not enough. The light alone is not enough. Because we need the love of the mother, the love of this motherly energy, the love of what is whole and holy to let us know that that shadow that has been called forward through the light doesn't mean that we're bad. It doesn't mean that we're unworthy. It doesn't mean that we're unlovable. It means that we are human beings incarnating on a planet where we carry these fragments, these pains, these shadows. And part of our work here, part of our contribution to the whole is the way that we alchemize these shadows. This love that is the source of all creation, this love that is eternal, this love that is absolutely defies our understanding, will receive any darkness that you carry, and it will open its arms and it will shine its light on the darkness, and then it will love you anyway. It will literally radiate beams of pure pink red love into you. And if you are in the practice of doing this, it often feels like this deep shadow excavation of just shame and pain and disgust and rage and grief. And as soon as we bring it up and out of the body and into the light of what's true, this light, this love comes forward. And I have been in moments where I was calling forth a shadow that I thought I would never be able to speak, that was I felt so repulsive, so disgusting. And as soon as I brought it into the light, as soon as I spoke the truth and basically dropped it at the altar of love, of truth, I would hear these voices and the sounds of angels, and they're like, Jane, honey, we love you so much. That shadow is nothing compared to how much we love you. You are so beautiful, so magnificent, so pure, so worthy, so valuable, so true. Thank you for carrying that fragment and bringing it back to us. Thank you for bringing it to the altar. Thank you for dropping it so that we can alchemize it. this love is not of the human plane. We are learning how to embody it here. And this is, for so many of us, one of the great teachings of our lives is to learn how to approximate that love. To learn how to approximate that amount of love. But this love is eternal. It's present everywhere, anywhere, and it lives inside you. Nothing can separate you from this love. So I think the reason I feel the need to share this with you tonight in this like very imperfect recording is that this is the only way. This love is the only way. That's it. Bringing these shadows into our personal shadows, the personal part of you, the collective, bringing all of this and placing this pain, this rage, this grief at the altar of truth and love. This is the only way. And as this experience we're all in continues to go go on and to lengthen, we're going to reach a point when there's no other solutions except this. And so if you're listening to this tonight, I want you to know that there is no shadow. There is no pain, no grief, no rage, no shame, no disgust, no horror, no terror, no depravity. There is nothing that you could bring to the altar of truth and love that would not be divinely and gratefully received. You can lay these burdens down at the feet of this altar. You can trust that this love will set you free. I know this from personal experience. I try not to, I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I try not to speak on things that I haven't personally experienced, because it's important for me to embody what I'm sharing with you. And so I want you to know that there's one person out there. There's so many, but there's one person you know who's making a practice of doing her best to tell the truth and to open her heart to receive the love that's available. And that humbling myself with all of my humanness to receive this love. And so I just want you to know tonight that no matter where you are, you cannot be separated from this love. There is nothing you could ever bring to the altar that would cast you aside. There is nothing that our society could ever bring to an altar that would be cast aside. We are innate and divine children of truth and love. So I send you so much love tonight. If you need me, please feel free to reach out. You can find more information at janeislistening.com. I am making a practice right now of sharing my voice in more authentic ways and sharing with you the experience of life that I'm having and how I'm learning to navigate the human experience in 2020. And this is it. It is deep, scary, heavy, and it is so beautiful because we are getting free. And I love you so much.